Lakers were already up by 35 points in Game 4. LeBron decided to drain his own logo three-pointer right after crossing half court to put LA up 38. The shot was from almost the same exact spot as Damian Lillard's logo shot Game 1. The big lead suggests LeBron was an answer saying, quote, the only reason James fired that shot from that spot at that moment was to mark his territory. Skip, should the Blazers have taken that personally?
Lord.
Hey, what it do? Yep.
If I were a Portland Trailblazer, I would have taken that very personally. I would have been, and I would be going into tonight's game offended and outraged by that act by the king.
What'd he do?
The game was clearly decided, as Jenny just pointed out. The Lakers were up by 35 points. Mm-hmm. And he had the audacity to come down and take and make a 36-foot shot up 35 points to put them up 38.
Layup!
And to put them up 38, then to run to the other end of the court, giving it a yes, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, look at that. You see him looking at it? Looking like he shot it from there?
Wow. As if he just hit a walk-off game winner in Game 7 to put the Portland Trailblazers, the rising 8 seed, back in their place. If he had done that, I'd give him a yeah.
No, you wouldn't.
That put you should be ashamed of this, seriously. That put them up 38 points as they were clearly going up 3-1 in the series. It should have been a sweep from the start.
No, it shouldn't.
And all I got to say is, you want to talk about rubbing somebody's nose in something? You want to talk about front running and showboating and hot dogging at the highest level?
Yeah, put some mustard and relish on that hot dog, Bron.
All at Portland's expense.
Yes.
And all I got to say is, LeBron James is so lucky he wasn't playing Major League Baseball at that point.
Why?
Because did you see what happened about a week ago? San Diego versus Texas, Fernando Tatis.
Yeah.
What happened?
He had a grass.
It's 1 out in the 8th inning. The score is 10-3 San Diego. He said he missed the take sign. I have no idea if that's true or not, but on a 3-0 pitch, he swung away, and he connected and hit a bases loaded grand slam.
Yep.
And all of a sudden, they're up 14-3.
Yeah.
Okay, so the point is that the Rangers were clearly so outraged that the next hitter up is Manny Machado. And where did the next pitch go? It went behind him. It's called a purpose pitch. It's sending a message that will not be tolerated. And the Rangers manager, Chris Woodward, got suspended for overseeing that, for signing off on that.
Yeah.
But he said after the game, we did not like that as a group. He wasn't saying just for him, but as their whole team, they did not like that.
Why not?
And they found it unacceptable.
But guess what, Skip?
It's just an unwritten baseball rule, just as it should have been an unwritten playoff basketball rule. You don't try to rub somebody's poor nose in it when you're up 35.
If you don't mind me asking, you say the score was 10-3 in the 8th? So in other words, they had thrown 85, 90 purpose pitches. So how the hell did they get to be 10-3? You worried about one pitch. What about those other 80 that led to the 10 runs?
Where's the unwritten rule? Effectively over.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
Was it the bottom of the ninth?
No, it wasn't.
Okay, it was in the fourth quarter. And no time on the clock.
All I know is if I were a Trailblazer tonight, and obviously I no longer have Damian Lillard, and I don't have Zach Collins.
Yeah.
And I don't have Trevor Ariza, who didn't even come. So I am undermanned tonight. I am a 13.5-point underdog. I got to tell you what I would be thinking.
What you would be thinking?
I would come out and play with rage. I would go down swinging, and I'm not advocating, I'm not sending a message that they should throw punches. I'm just talking about effectively, psychologically go down swinging, as in play physically, play within just barely the letter of the law, but take your pound of flesh underneath the basket, hard fouls.
That's
Play
unnecessary,
with
Skip.
some rage.
That's unnecessary.
You still have Carmelo. You still have CJ. You still have Nurkic. You still have Whiteside. And you got those kids. Anthony Simons comes in.
And you got Gary Trent Jr.
Oh, I didn't mention him.
Yeah.
He plays fearlessly to me. He plays tough and strong. He's not big enough to guard LeBron, but he gets after him, and they should get after your guys. And this should be much closer than 13.5. They should make you sweat and make you work, because clearly you'll front run out in the first quarter and think this is over, and you're not going to take this team seriously.
Oh, yeah, we are.
They now have a reason to take you very seriously tonight and play it like you mean it. I don't want to hear 1, 2, 3 Cancun before this game starts. I want to see the Portland Trail Blazers show what's left of their pride. They still have enough firepower to make this a contest. I want to see them compete just the way the Rangers fired back. I want to see them fire back at the King for a 35-point shot, 35 shot that was clearly unacceptable.
Very acceptable.
Yes.
Well, guard it.
That's what I want. I want them running back up the court tonight going, yes.
Hold on.
Yes.
You remember when Dame hit that long three?
Yep.
And they started playing too short? Go dumb, and he dancing back up the court. You ain't say a word. You say you like that. I say, Skip, I thought this was a Lakers home game.
What
the hell
game was that? It was game 1.
Okay.
Was it close? Yeah.
No.
In fact, they were still down.
Okay, it was close. Well, who knows what could have happened? Because LeBron James, we've seen LeBron bring a team back from 27 against Paul George when he was in Indiana. You remember that?
Well, what I remember is game 1, LeBron had the ball in his hands with a 6-point lead with 7 minutes to go, right in the middle of that little salvo from Damian.
Yeah.
And LeBron, I'm thinking, home, James? No, he went out the back door.
But that's okay. But he made up for it with that one. I do not believe, Skip, this was anything other than a heat check. Because at that point in time, Skip, he was 9 of 10 from the floor. That's what he was.
Okay.
He was 3 or 4 from the three-point line.
Game is over.
Skip, this is a heat check. He like, man, hold up, I'm feeling good. I just hit a 3. I just hit a couple of threes. I'm talking about distance threes. Let me just see how hot I actually am. We've seen that, Skip. We've seen guys get to cooking, and they will pull up from damn near half court. Nobody says a thing. It doesn't matter if you're down 5 or you're up 20. A guy is feeling it. He's going to heat check to see just how hot I am.
Not up 35. 35?
Skip.
How often are you ever up 35?
A lot.
Oh,
And when you
yeah.
gonna go,
Yeah.
let me ask you a question, Skip. What territory does LeBron need to mark? He's the only guy in the bubble. He's the only guy in this series that got a championship. The guy's a 4-time league MVP. He's a 3-time finals MVP, a 3-time All-Star game MVP, a 13-time first-team All-NBA, 6-time All-Defensive first team. And he needs to mark his territory for who? Now, maybe
I didn't say that.
if Kawhi...
I don't know who said that.
Hey, I don't know either. All that was, Skip, was a heat check. I just want y'all to let me see. Hey, I'm feeling good. Let me see if this thing
What
really
did I just say this was? If, in fact, he marked his territory, that requires some urination, right?
No,
Is that how you do
yeah.
it? And I told you, he's rubbing their nose in his urination as he marks his territory. It's what you do to young pups to teach them you can't do that in the house. And he was trying to do that to those young pups from Portland. You can't do that in my house.
You see this body? This body lets you know that he don't normally cook with Crisco.
Oh.
He normally cook with Pam or that coconut oil. But it's right here, that lard, that Crisco, he was on fire. So he let that thing go from Belgrade, Mug City. And they like, huh? And I saw Danny Green and JaVale go back there. It's like, he hit it from there. It's like Tiger Woods taking his rescue medal, his fairway wood, out of his bag, Skip, and hitting the shot 250 within 8 feet of the cup.
So you like him going back up the court going, yes, yes. You like that?
Like, I wish they'd have played that too short so he could have got done with it like Dame. Hey, I want him to get done with it.
He's not from Oak Town.
Oh, whoa. Hunting ain't no fun when the rabbit got a gun. Just imagine if you went hunting big game in Africa and he had a 308. Or he had a 30-30. Or he had an AR. Just imagine.
Was he a rabbit?
Yeah. So when Dame...
I didn't know he was a rabbit. Sometimes he plays like a rabbit,
Skip.
plays scared.
When Dame hit
Sometimes he runs from the free throw line like a rabbit.
Hold on. So when Dame hitting them logo shots, it's all good. Now
it's all competitive because the game's hanging in the balance. He's doing it competitively to get the Trailblazers back in the game. He's up 35, and it suddenly goes up 38. Yes.
You remember?
Yes.
Hold on. You remember what was that game?
That's what I'm talking about.
Skip, you remember in game 2? It was late in the ball game. I think, if I'm not mistaken, the Blazers were down like 20 points. And, Dame reached in there and tried to get the ball from AD. He hit the back of his foot, and he dislocated his finger. And after the game, the reporters asked Terry Stotts, what was Dame doing in the game? He like playing basketball. That's what LeBron James was doing. He playing basketball. So if you're in a basketball game, you shoot the ball. If you're in the basketball game, you rebound the ball. Okay, so what's the problem?
Does LeBron regularly shoot logo threes?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Man.
Hold up. Do you remember? Hold up,
It's
Skip.
been months since
Hold up,
I
Skip.
remember
Hold
one.
up. Do you remember when Zion dunked on Kuzma? And what did he do? What did LeBron do? Oh, you want to dunk on Kuz? Well, put this in your pipe and smoke it, Chief. Wham! From 40. So, yes, he's done it. He will send a message to let everybody know.
I can't wait to see the Clippers and the Lakers because I'm going to bring it up one more time. Patrick Beverley, at 6 feet 1 inch tall, took 6 feet 9 LeBron. With the game on the line, LeBron forced to shoot a 3 to tie at the end of a Christmas Day game against the arch rival in-city Clippers. And Patrick Beverley blocked his shot on the way up because he's only 6'1", and he hit the ball so effectively hard and solidly that it went up and out of LeBron's hands, off his hands, out of bounds, game over. That's what you're up against, a team that is much mentally tougher and physically tougher than your team. And I can't wait for you to have. He's not going to be shooting any logo threes against the Clippers.
Oh, yeah, we will.
Just watch
oh, yes,
and wait.
we will. Oh, yes, we will. And we'll make it. And we'll make it. And then guess what we did? Guess what happened when we played the Clippers and